James Gunn revealed that he would never want Superman to be a cool hero, and we agree with the DCU director completely after watching his film. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Throughout the countless interpretations, recurrences, and reintroductions that have happened to the character of Kal-El, there have always been some changes to his look. James Gunn doesn't think that Superman should ever be cool or popularized as a stylish hero. After directing the recently released DCU flick Superman, Gunn gave his opinions about the character of Man of Steel and why, even though the 90s comic books were good, they also did some bad stuff to the hero of Metropolis. Giving a makeover to Clark Kent didn't turn out to be the best idea that comic book creators had in the 90s. Although their intentions were for the good of the character, they tried to make him look cool and failed. In an interview with GQ, James Gunn sat alongside David Corenswet to give a cover story about the actor. During their talks, Gunn mentioned that Superman should never be cool when it comes to movies or even the comics because that's just not what the character is about. In the James Gunn flick, Superman is showing for who he is, a dork with love for anything with a beating heart. Throughout the movie, not a single innocent person has been harmed as the Man of Steel punches a giant being while also stabilizing it from falling. I think that oftentimes people can see Superman as Pollyanna. They say, how can we make Superman cool? So if it's the 90s, they give him a mullet. But the thing is that he's not cool. Gunn continued. He's kind. He loves little kids. He wants little kids to like him. I think it's about owning that and being okay with that. It's not trying to hippify him, you know? To add to the context, Pollyanna is a 1960 film where an orphan lifts the mood of an entire village by just being nice and cheerful and optimistic. Ever since then, the word has been used to stereotype someone like Superman. Despite the stereotypes, tropes, or people's attempts to make the hero of Metropolis look cool, James Gunn is truly a director who understands the character better than anyone. That's why Gunn decided to create his own version of Superman alongside David Corenswet, and here's what he has to say about it. James Gunn doesn't care whether Superman looks cool while saving someone. All that Gunn and Clark Kent care about is whether the being is out of harm's way, and that's what Superman's core is. A dorky, innocent, and naive person with a love for the entire world. Even his post-credit scene with Mr. Terrific proves that Superman doesn't really think before saying anything, showcasing his innocence in a world filled with hypocrites and selfish people. That's why James Gunn understood the character better than anyone, and I can proudly admit that the DCU needed James Gunn more than they needed Zack Snyder. What do you think about James Gunn's DCU film? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. In the movie, Kal-El saves a little girl, a woman, a family, and even a little squirrel from harm's way. Although he does it while wearing tight blues and red trunks, no one notices the costume that he's wearing. The S on his chest becomes a symbol of hope, his cape becomes a sight of relief when people are in trouble. His love for everything teaches humanity to people who have forgotten how to be human. James Gunn's Superman features a 12-minute dialogue scene that became his favorite moment, offering emotional depth rarely seen in superhero movies. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Speaking with Josh Horowitz, James Gunn addressed his unprecedented 12-minute talking scene between Lois Lane and Clark Kent. During the discussion, the filmmaker revealed that the scene had barely changed from the time he first wrote it. According to Gunn, the final version used in the movie is almost exactly the same as the one they screen tested. Perhaps a few lines or two were trimmed, but the overall structure, dialogue, and shots stayed true to the original idea. That alone shows how confident he was in this scene. Now, what made that scene even more interesting is how James Gunn treated both characters equally. He didn't just make Superman the obvious hero or Lois the one who's always right. Instead, he made sure both characters had valid arguments. In that scene, he made Lois Lane stand for truth and practicality, while Clark Kent focused on the value of life and doing the right thing. These are two very different yet important ways of seeing the world, and Gunn wanted both to be respected in the scene. Part of that also shows just like how each of these characters comes across in the scene. I mean, when I wrote the scene and I look at the scene myself, I see both their points of view. I see Lois's point of view. I see, his point of view. She's talking about truth and he's talking about life, right? both important values and both their key important
James
values
Gunn's
in
Superman
their lives.
paid tribute to
James
Christopher
Gunn
Reeve
shared
by
that when he
incorporating
watches
a role
the scene
that defines
he sees
personal
both
and
sides
professional
clearly.
careers together.
He agrees with
Welcome
both of them
to
at
Stats
different
In.
moments.
If
And
you're
that's
just
what
joining
makes
us,
the scene
please
work so
subscribe
well.
and don't forget
Lois
to turn on
questions the
notifications
consequences
bell
of
for more
Superman's
video.
actions. Will
Whereas
Reeves'
Clark
cameo
believes
in
that
James
saving
Gunn's
lives in the
Superman
moment
is
is
more than
always
just
the
a
right
tribute
thing
to
to
his
do.
father.
In
A
a world
legend
where
where Christopher
superhero
Reeve,
movies are often
according to
filled with
Reeve,
punches
the
and
role he
explosions,
played as a television
James
news
Gunn
correspondent
flipped the script,
wasn't just a clever
literally.
nod to his real-life
newly
career.
released Superman
It was an
film
incredibly
isn't just
personal
packed
and
with
meaningful
epic battles
experience.
and alien threats.
He shared that
it also features
Superman
a
had many
conversation.
cameos alongside its
just a
wonderful
raw,
main acting
dialogue-heavy
cast.
discussion
One of
between
them
Lois
was
Lane
Reeve
and Clark
the
Kent.
son of veteran
No
actor
action,
Christopher Reeve.
just a deep dive
In
into
hindsight,
truth,
it seems
morality,
that James
and the
Gunn
meaning
paid
of life.
tribute to an exemplary
It's the kind
actor
of creative
in a way
risk
by
that
including
most
his son in the
superhero
movie,
directors
which is a
don't
great
dare to
directorial
take.
move.
However,
in an
for
interview
James
with the
Gunn,
New York Post,
it became
by
not
People,
only a
where
standout
Reeve
moment
shared
in the
his
film,
thoughts
but
on
also
being a part
his
of
personal
James Gunn's
favorite.
vision.
During
Saying,
an interview with
I went
Josh
on
Horowitz,
set,
I
did my thing
this
for a few
talking
minutes,
scene
and then
was
got
the
in the
biggest
car to
gamble
head
of the
back
movie
to the airport
because
to go
superhero
home.
fans aren't
He
used to
further
sitting still that
explained,
long unless
laughing.
a city is crumbling.
And by the time
Josh
I had gotten to
Horowitz
the gate,
asked,
it had leaked
what was the
online
biggest
that I had a
risk you
cameo
took creatively?
With the fans
James
keeping their
Gunn
eyes on the news
responded,
to watch out for the
biggest
movements in
risk I
such big
took
films
was putting a
It seems
12-minute
that the
talking
audience
scene
did have an
in a
idea of
superhero
Reeve
movie.
being a part of the film.
There's just no
though only
doubt.
hardcore fans
It's
noticed his role
fantastic.
in the film.
It's
Let's
probably
dive
my
deep
favorite
into what the
scene in
actor
the
has
film.
more to tell about
If I
his work
haven't
in the
seen
film,
it as many
and
times
why
as I
James
have,
Gunn's casting
and if I
move
ever have to
proves
see it
to be the
again,
most strategic.
I'll jump out that window.
Reeve also shared
So
his
let's
experience
check
of
out
working
what
in the
makes
film,
it so
that
special.
despite being comfortable
Because,
on live
as per
television,
Gunn,
he was
it's
the most
terrified,
honest,
nuanced,
with all the people
and
around him on the
surprisingly
set,
human
and having
scene
to deliver
throughout
his
the
single
movie.
line.
And not
His
to
comment
mention,
highlights
the director
real
also
emotion
cited
behind
this
the
heavy
cameo,
conversation
making it
as
a
the
powerful
loudest
and
moment
touching
in his
moment for
superhero
fans
movie.
of his father and
Further
the
into the
Superman's
conversation,
character.
James
I was
Gunn
honored to
admitted
get the
that
call
both
from the
Lois
wonderful
Lane and
filmmakers,
Clark Kent make
and
strong
I jumped
points.
at the opportunity.
Most people naturally agree with Superman.
He further continued
After all,
saying,
Clark represents
"It was a nice
our moral
homage,
compass.
I think, to my
he
dad,
believes saving
who for
lives
millions
is
of
the
people
top
has been
priority,
Superman for
even
generations,
if it means rushing in
and for the
without knowing
filmmakers
all the
of this new
details.
version of Superman,
By letting both characters
include
speak
me
their
as
minds
a way
and
to
showing their
include him
perspectives
meant a
honestly.
lot.
James
The
Gunn
role
brought
itself
out a
was a
rare
perfect
emotional
fit for
depth
Reeve
in his superhero
as he
movie.
is a correspondent
He wasn't
for
interested
ABC
in who was
News.
right or wrong.
The mirroring of his
he wanted
real-life
to show a
profession
real
with the
debate
character of a
between two
journalist
smart,
and Superman
passionate people
is a
who
beautiful
care about
replica
doing
of
what's
his father
best.
Christopher
In
Reeve's
the scene,
dual identity
we can
as
see
Clark
how she
Kent
questions
and a hardworking
Superman's
reporter.
methods.
Wondering
This proves
if his
the
actions
director's
might
vision
actually
for the
lead
movie
to more
and his
harm than
long-term
good.
perspective
Her
regarding
thinking
the
is
characters.
based on real-world
With Superman,
consequences.
he did not just make a
good
movie,
intentions,
but created a
this
universe
is what
that
makes
will
the
align many
conversation
stories
more
in the
balanced
future
and believable.
James Gunn's
Through
approach
this
to
debate,
filmmaking
Gunn
seems to
gave
be
us a
different,
fresh look at
insightful,
Superman,
and well thought
This
out.
view is inspiring,
Each of the
and
character
it reflects the
portrayal
kind
in
of
the hero
film
people
have
look
something
up
to do with the
But James
storyline.
Gunn also
In
pointed
simple
out
terms,
that this mindset
none of the
can
actors
sometimes
look
be
lethargic
too simple
or unimportant.
That's why he
Apart
had to
from
carefully
Will Reeve,
adjust the scene
several other
during
moments
editing.
honor the past
He didn't
while
want
setting up the
Superman
future
to feel
We
one-dimensional.
see John Cena
So,
reprising his
he made
role
sure
as
Lois's
Peacemaker
voice
and
remained
Frank
strong,
Grillo
appearing
appearing
as
as
Rick
Rick
Flag
Flag
making
Sr.
him the flawless
roles
symbol
that
of
were
hope.
established in
James
previous
Gunn
DC
portrayed
projects.
Clark Kent as a bit
Moreover,
rash.
even Gunn's
David
brother,
Cornsweet's
Sean
character
Gunn,
is shown
shows
as
he
the
acts
Maxwell
quickly,
Lord, driven
a key
by
character
emotion
who will
and the
surely
desire
be
to